Hey everybody, Professor Doom here. You know what is really interesting about this aircraft right here that is kind of being unveiled? Maybe some of you guys have seen this. This is the first time I'm seeing it, but I find it very, very interesting about its appearance and its likeness to a certain aircraft that we seen somewhere else. And as I was going back to look at the uncanny likeness to this other aircraft that we saw, I actually noticed something else, and I'll explain to you what we mean. What I mean, I'm sorry. So what we're looking at here is the flight of the B21 Raider strategic bomber. Let's take a look at it. And then I'm going to go take you to where we see the likeness of this aircraft. And I'm going to point out something that has not been pointed out before in what we're going to be taking a look at. You'll know what I mean when we get there. Let's take a look at this. Now, you guys aren't going to have any audio, but okay. Now, let's go take a look at GoatII, because I'm going to show you something that I haven't heard anybody point out yet, which is going to tell us something very, very interesting about a timeline. Let's take a look. You'll see what I mean. Okay, pay attention. Take in what you just saw. Okay, what did you see here? Okay, that's one. Now, let's go take a look at the aircraft in GoatII that looks just like the B-21 bomber. And notice, and I want you to keep your memory on what you see going on all around as they're showing us. Doesn't that have the uncanny likeness of the B-21 bomber? And as you notice, it strikes a mosque. So that begs the question, are they going to utilize, if this is indeed a representation of the B-21 bomber, is this going to be utilized in some kind of Middle Eastern conflict? Okay, so let's keep looking, because there's something very interesting that hasn't been pointed out. And as I just showed you with Obama, as I just showed you in the sky, as we were looking at, not Dagon, what was it? Thuban or Draco, that's his name, Draco, the guy in the TV set, okay? And as you see all around, I want you to take notice of this. Wow, doesn't this remind you of the scenes that they're showing us from the onslaught of Palestine, Gaza Strip right now? And This looks like exactly like something that we would expect to see from Israel's attack on Gaza right now. You know, the kid is like all bandaged up, and mom is like all just like, I have nowhere to go. And you know what I'm saying? And what else is interesting as well is, what did the guy just say that Netanyahu condemned the guy for? He said, you know what? Well, we should just drop a nuke right there in Palestine. And look right there in the background, it has all the appearance of a nuclear detonation, doesn't it? But let's keep watching and let's see if you're picking up on what I'm laying down. Do you guys not see that every part of the scenario that is being shown to us in GoatII, there is snow coming down the whole time. There is snow on the ground. What is that indicative of? Exactly. That's indicative that all of this stuff is going to go down in a winter time scenario. That's what that tells me. And you know what else is interesting? So tomorrow is 11/11, and as I already pointed out in a couple of other videos, what did Apple just release in a commercial about a month and a half ago? That's right, Kali, Mother Nature. The goddess Kali was revealed to us in another Apple commercial years ago before that. And the goddess Kali was presented on the Empire State Building back in 2015. And do you know what the date that, or the numbers that are associated with the goddess Kali? 11/11. And do you know what else is interesting about those numbers? And the fact that there's going to be a coronal mass ejection that is supposed to hit Earth tomorrow on 11/11? Let's take a look at the very end of GoatII. There has all of the appearances of a coronal mass ejection coming off of the sun. But if you look at about 10 o'clock into the sky to the left of the sun, and you see a scorpion stinger. And as I've pointed out in other videos before, that the zodiac sign for the month of October into November that is going to fall on 11/11 is none other than Scorpio. And not only that, but the apocalyptic mural at the Johns Hopkins University also shows us the motif of the scorpion. And there is a bunch of stuff to come with it in those apocalyptic murals. But do you know what else is pretty interesting? At the very end of this video, I'm going to show you right here. Not only do you see the very capstone of the pyramid being destroyed, but you see this. And as I've pointed out in some of my other videos, what that tells me, the message that they are sending right there, where you see the very dot of the eye lean over towards the sun disk, that is their message that there is a celestial body that is close to our sun. And isn't it very interesting that we are witnessing right now all kinds of amazing activity when it comes to volcanoes, earthquakes? Just today, earlier, there was a swarm of over 80 earthquakes that hit Iceland this morning. They are now reporting that there is a landmass that has been protruding out of the water, that has been raised up out of the water close to Japan. There is volcanic activity going on all around us. And what could possibly be causing all of this anomalous activity all at once? We are having coronal mass ejection, and I know people are thinking, well, this is the active years. There's 11 years and 11 years, blah, blah. Well, first of all, why is there 11? Why is it absolutely 11? That's another interesting question in itself. But if you think about coronal mass ejections, if you think earthquakes, if you think volcanoes, and you think that there is something out there that is gradually approaching closer and closer to Earth, that the gravitational disturbance that it is bringing against our planet, what would you expect to see from the gravitational waves from that celestial body? What effect would you expect to see on our Earth? Well, I'm going to tell you. Because all you have to do is look at the other planets down the line, and how did astronomers and science, how were they able to tell that there was another planet beyond beyond Jupiter and beyond Neptune and beyond Uranus and Neptune? And how did they know that Pluto was beyond that? Because they looked at the gravitational perturbation disturbances on those planets. If you look and if you keep watching and you see a shake and a shimmy to a particular planet, well, you go, oh, there must be a planet beyond that. If we were outside and off of our planet and we were looking on our planet and we saw it shaking due to earthquake activity, wouldn't we say, man, there must be a celestial body that's having an effect on planet Earth? Wouldn't we? Well, that's all I wanted to say about this, because if this is exactly what they're telling us, something's going to happen in the wintertime, boom, here, this is how it's going to go down. As you see, everything they pointed out, it looks like there is the attack on Palestine. It could be. You see look like the nuclear detonation. Could be. You see the coronal mass ejection. Could be. And you're seeing the scorpion stinger in the sky, which is, why would you have it in the sky? Because they're pointing out to the fact that that's a zodiac sign. That's not a could be. That to me is absolute fact. And again, as I pointed out, the numbers 1111 associated with the goddess Kali. The zodiac sign from in between October and November is Scorpio. And those months just happen to be falling at a time when it is winter. And guess what, folks? Tomorrow is 11/11. I'm not making any predictions, but I just wanted to point out some interesting little facts there for you, so you guys can marinate on that for a while and tell me what you think in the comment section. And if you made it this far into this video, please do not forget that I do have 2 backup channels, Professor Doom and the number 2, and then my other third backup channel, or my second backup channel, is Rebel space yes and 23. Rebel space yes 23. All right, everybody. Thanks.